Welcome to Inspired Living with Marc and Kim. Every Wednesday, Marc and Kim, along with their special guests, will explore thought-provoking topics and ideas that promote creativity, self-help, healing, happiness, and well-being to inspire you on your spiritual journey. Each week, Marc and Kim will discuss different paths to achieving a more spiritual, balanced, happy, and healthy lifestyle. Topics will elevate consciousness and range from metaphysics to the human and social experience, and all things spiritual. Welcome to an inspired community that offers support, encouragement, and new ways of thinking. Marc and Kim are tested, certified, and professional spiritual mediums, metaphysical teachers, healers, and spiritual advisors with their own individual spiritual practices in Seattle, Washington, and Los Angeles, California. You are the inspired and the inspiration.
And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be in this amazing planet of ours. This is Inspired Living Radio with Marc and Kim here on the OMTimes Radio Network. And we're going to have a fun, yet maybe a little sad show today as we say goodbye to my co-host, Kim Thalken, founder of Love First. And I wanted to start off the show with a quote because I think it's very fitting. When we started this adventure 4 years ago, we've been doing Inspired Living Radio, and Seneca reminds us every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. And that's what Kim is going to be doing. She's going to be going off on her own adventure. There's that saying that says that you must go on adventures to find out where you truly belong. So I'm your host, Marc Lainhart, the Intuitive Prospector, here in Seattle, Washington, broadcasting from my Healing and Prospecting studio. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Inspired Living Radio, where we do say you are the inspired and the inspiration with our global audience all around the world. Thank you. Sit back for the next hour as Kim and I go on a new adventure, talking about what's coming up for Inspired Living Radio, as we talk about what's coming up for each of us as we move into 2020. And with that, I want to get right into giving Kim the microphone to share her journey and what's been going on with her. If you want to call into the show, we will be taking phone calls. If you want to say hi, if you want to say goodbye, if you want to get a reading, the number to call in is 202-570-7057. You can also post a question on our Facebook page, which is Inspired Living Radio, or Instagram or Twitter under the handle Inspired for Us. That is the number 4. And with that, Kim, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing great, Marc. Hello to all of you inspired listeners around the world in our community. Thank you so much for being with us here today. I tell you what, it's been a beautiful journey with you, Marc, and our beautiful community, and I'm just so grateful. Mm-hmm. It's been a very important part of my journey, that's for sure, and you all were a part of that, and so I just want to give a lot of gratitude and appreciation for all of us. It's like, I don't know, we go through different cycles, right, on our path of where we're being called to go and to do, and what we're, feeling in our hearts we want to create for ourselves, because that's what this is all about. It's about creation. And Marc, when we came together, that's what we did, in a beautiful partnership. And to that point, I just want to encourage everybody who's listening, if there's a reality that you're wanting to create for yourself, do it. You have so much fun.
Do it.
Yeah, give it a try. I noticed, Marc, that was one of your post today too. Don't get caught up in everything else. Just focus on what you want to do today, and make great things from that. And I was inspired by that, because that's kind of like where I am on my path, is about keeping focused on really what it is I want to create for myself. So yeah. So anyways, that's what's going on with me. As everybody probably knows by now, I'm in Los Angeles, back again on the West Coast, and this West Coast energy just, I don't know, there's a lot happening out here, and I just feel inspired to create. So that's where my focus is. But I also do want to just give a shout out. There's just so many people and animals being affected today by some of the fires around us.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just, send my thoughts and my prayers and my love to everybody who's been affected. So anyways, yeah, that's kind of what's going on over here, Mark.
Well, I was going to say the firefighters, too, that are fighting these fires that are happening in California. We just dispatched some of the fire departments here in Seattle were dispatched down to California to help with, battling these raging fires that seem to happen all the time now. So, our first responders, our firefighters, the animals, all the people that are impacted by these horrible fires, we're thinking of you and sending you our love and our prayers and our positive thoughts that these fires will be extinguished soon.
Yes, thank you for saying that too. Definitely the first responders, they do so much for us. Yes. So, yeah. There's all kinds of stuff going on out here on the West Coast, but, there's a lot of change. You see, the fires represent change too, right? Shifts and change and evolution and new life and new growth and new beginnings and all of that. So, yeah, how about with you, Mark?
Well, I was going to say, let's backtrack a little bit. Let's go back in time for our listeners so they can kind of get a story of what became Inspired Living Radio. So Kim and I had met back in 2013 actually, through Best American Psychics. And we went on our first, this wasn't our first rodeo. We actually did a radio show before Inspired Living Radio for about 6 months. And we just felt like it was called the Hour to Empower. And actually, one of our co-hosts that was on the show, Diana Blegden, who's no longer here with us, she's transitioned over into the spirit world. We started on this radio show, Hour to empower people. And from there, Kim and I decided that we wanted to do a little bit more reach and have content that really inspired people, helped people, educated, brought knowledge and wisdom and really cool topics and interviews with amazing people. And so we created Inspired Living Radio, and that launched, believe it or not, July 22nd, 2015. And I, as a numerologist, I look at numbers when it comes to everything that we do, in the world, when it comes to whether it's time, whether it's your technology, they're all based on numbers. And so July 22nd, Kim, is actually a master number. That's actually when we launched Inspired Living Radio through the OMTimes Radio Network.
I didn't remember that. Yeah, 22, the master number.
Yeah, the master number.
Oh, my. I didn't realize that.
We jump now to 2019, almost the end of 2019. So it's been over 5 years of doing radio shows and podcasts. And, we've covered everything, every topic that you can think of, from animal communications to what's your soul signature, ascension, prospecting between two worlds, the age of women, the Akashic records, I'm just trying, angel messages, death and dying, a new earth. We've covered communications with the spirit world, metaphysics, meditation, medicine with professors at Columbia in New York. We've had an athlete on that pitched in the World Series. And so it's been quite an adventure. And so today I just took the time to look at all of our episodes that we started on July 22nd. And Kim is right. When you want to go after something, visualize it, manifest it, and go after it. I always say dare to dream, dare to explore, dare to live. And as Kim gets ready for her new adventure, as she moves into 2020, and you're going to see more of Kim, I promise. It's just that sometimes, things come to an end. But that, like I said at the beginning of the show, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. And you're going to have a new adventure, and you're going to be taken off, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you're going to do. So with that, I looked at all the episodes that we've done since 2015, since July 22nd, 2015. And I'm just curious, Kim, if you know how many episodes or podcasts that we've done since we've been on the air with Inspired Living Radio.
Oh my gosh, a couple hundred. I don't know the exact amount, but
you're close. You're close. So today will be the 179th episode of Inspired Living Radio. And what I like to do, I like to break that number down. So 179 actually breaks down to the number 8, in which is an infinity.
Oh, yes. Let's do it, Mark. Abundance and prosperity, infinity.
Exactly. And so 179 breaks down to the number 8 in numerology, and all I did was took, 179, broke it down to a single digit. It ends up being the number 8. You turn the 8 sideways, that means infinity. And the infinity number in numerology, when it comes to the life path of 8, that's all about being the business-minded leader. New businesses, new adventures, new ways of working in the world, whether that's through self-employment, positions of authority, which, Kim, you're going to have both, right? You're going to be your own authority, and you're going to have your own self-employment, what you're doing, and more YouTube videos. And we're going to talk more about that. But I just looked at the overall final episodes of you and I together. Now, Inspired Living Radio is going to continue on just on a limited basis, on a monthly basis, starting next month. But I wanted to look at that number of what we co-created together, and 179 was the magic number, which breaks down to 8.
We like that, Mark. I have to say, I really appreciate numerology. And as, we're looking for a home out here, I really pay attention to that because I've spoken about this before, but I'll tell you what, those home numbers, you can see how much they influence. What's that? Oh, yeah.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, when I look back at the experiences I had in each of the places I've lived in and the numbers associated with it, it really you can see the connection and how the vibration of that number influences us. So thank you so much for pointing that out today, Mark, because that's a beautiful way to bring an experience to a completion, right? Is through that infinity in the vibration of 8. I didn't realize that. So, but as you were speaking, Mark, I did the same thing too. I was like, wow, I was going through all the shows we've done, and what that tells me is that there are so many people out there that have a beautiful message to share, and they did that on Inspired Living, and it just shows how each one of us we came into this life to create experiences and to share our message and our gifts and our talents with the world in different ways that are unique to us. Mm-hmm. And that's what each one of those shows did. Every one of them had just a really incredible message to share the work they were doing here on Earth. And so so I just, it was really, remember that each person that's listening today, you have a gift to share too. And you have your own message, whatever that may be. And so if you haven't thought about that, I encourage you to do that, because when you identify kind of what that is, what speaks to your soul, what are you passionate about, what inspires you? Those are such key questions. A lot of times we just get focused on, our jobs and schedules and going from here to here and this meeting and that commitment. But that's really one of the most important things that you could understand about you on the very deepest of levels is what are you passionate about? What excites you? What are you inspired by? And whatever that answer is, whatever it may be, do it, and then do more of it. But to also know, that as you shift and evolve too, those inspirations and passions are going to shift and evolve too. And then when that happens, be okay with that, honor that, and let go of whatever reality that is so that you can step into the new reality that you create for yourself based on your newfound passions and inspiration. And it's okay to do that. Sometimes we feel like, oh no, should we, stay with what we've been doing forever? And what happens if we don't? That's the evolution of our soul, and there's so much beauty in it, and Mark, that's kind of like what's happening here, right, on Inspired Living. We both came together. We're inspired to do the show. and then our inspirations have just continued to expand. And so I've decided to focus on other parts of my life that are expanding. And as conscious partners, you know, Marc and I come together in a conscious way. We honor that and respect that and support each other as those things happen, just like Marc has been just a beautiful partner in doing that with me as I, you know, move on to other things. And as I'll always do for you too, Marc, I'm so happy that the Inspired community is still going to be blessed with you in this way.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And, you know, Lao Tzu comes to my mind when, you know, it's that quote of a journey of 1,000 miles must begin with that single step. And it's a single step that we took back in 2015, and 179 episodes later, you know, it's been a magical 4 years. I've learned a lot. I know you have transformed and ascended even in your own life, like I have. The spiritual pathway, even, you know, through the health and the mindset has all gone through, you know, changes, and that, you know, that infinity number of 8 is journey in, journey out. And it's been a heck of a journey, you know, learning and growing and transforming, and, you know, getting access to people that we normally wouldn't have access to through Inspired Living Radio. You know, people that are, you know, maybe very famous, or, you know, got to go through their PR firm to get them on the show and interview them. But learning from them, right? Like having them share their content and their wisdom and their knowledge and their memories and experiences, so the global audience can hear that, but also then, you know, take that into their journey, their soul adventure, and make them think and maybe inspire them. You know, I always say be inspired, inspire others, and inspire before we expire. That's what the journey is all about. And, you know, for 4 years, it's been a lot of fun. Every Wisdom Wednesday we've been here. The encore shows will be forever in the OMTimes radio archives. You can always find us through iTunes and YouTube and all the past shows that we've done. So with that, we're going to go to our first break. We're going to come back and continue our last episode together of Inspired Living Radio with Marc Lainhart and Kim Thalken, the founder of Love First. We'll be back here in 2 minutes.
The future of Internet radio is here. OMTimes Radio, IOM FM. Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community. Are you seeking answers to life questions? Would you like to connect to a departed loved one? Are you suffering from pain, stress, or anxiety? Kimberly Thalken is a tested, certified, and professional psychic, spiritual medium, energy healer, hypnotherapist, and the founder of Love First, where life transformations happen. Love First services support, guide, and empower individuals by connecting them to their highest potential to live a healthier, joyful, and meaningful life that's filled with purpose. All services can be done by phone, Skype, or in person in Encino, California. Please visit lovefirst.info. That's LOVEFIRST.info for more information.
For those times when you're looking for insight and additional tools to living your most elevated life, there's no better place to turn than Intuitive Alchemy Radio. Join me, Laura Brown, each Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern for inspiring conversations, live on-the-air readings, and tools to help you build your most aligned, most abundant, and most delicious life.
Death Row Dogs Rescue is a 100% all-volunteer, no-kill rescue 501c3 nonprofit organization. We are run solely by volunteers who dedicate their time and resources for the past 30 years to rescuing homeless pets from the streets in Los Angeles and surrounding areas, and from city and county animal shelters who are on death row, often moments away from being euthanized. We provide housing, medical care, and training to these neglected, abused, and often severely injured animals. Donate now Save a life and allow these beautiful dogs to experience a home life filled with love. All donations are greatly appreciated and are tax deductible. Please visit www.deathrowdogsrescue.com to see some of our amazing dogs who need homes. Do not breed or buy. Make adoption your first option.
And welcome back to Inspired Living with Marc and Kim. Marc, are you there?
I am. I keep cutting in and out here, so I'm just checking my connections to make sure I'm all connected. It's all that positive, inspirational energy.
We just shut down the lines, Marc. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was having some internet connection issues on my end. So anyways, but I do want to say I looked down at my inbox on my email, and it was at the number 8. So there we go. Thank you very much. It's the number 8. Another number 8. Anyways, I do want to give a shout out real quick to Death Row Dogs, which is the advertisement you just heard. They've done such beautiful work here in Los Angeles with animals in need and taking them in and finding in them homes and caring for them all along the way. And so if you are in the LA area and you're looking to bring in a new pet family member, please reach out to Death Row Dogs and support. Are you just looking to donate to a good organization? I would love for you to do that with them because they do so much beautiful work here. So I just want to give them a shout out. And so anyways, it's great to be back. We were just on our 2-minute break. And, I want to talk a little bit about, we're talking about if there's something out there you want to do, go ahead, do it. That's really actually where I am on my path right now. And I've done a couple of videos on this. Because that seems to be where my focus is. It's not like I wasn't creating before or didn't have things I didn't want to do, but like I moved into a place, and I'm sharing this because maybe it might inspire somebody else. That's what this show is all about. But I've come to a place now, where, and the energy of California here on the West Coast is really helping to move me forward in that way, where I have identified things that I want, specific things that I want to create for myself. And so I've moved into a place of like consciously creating that for me. And it's a little different of an experience than just having an idea floating around out there and then hoping something happens or just letting it go by the wayside and getting caught up in other things. And then, you revisit it 6 months from now and you're like, oh, yeah, what happened? I still want to do it, but I'm not sure how, or I don't know. This is a little bit different. This is like specifically identifying what it is you want to create for yourself and really staying focused, because the human side of us will take us into all different other directions for whatever reason to distract us, right? So when we identify what it is we want to bring in, stay focused on it and keep moving forward. That's where I am on my path. That's what I'm like really learning about here.
Mm-hmm.
Staying focused with your thoughts and your energy and your intention and your desire and all of those things, and keep moving forward. Even if there's something that comes up that, was unexpected or that is you would think of as not desirable or you didn't get what you want, doesn't matter. You let all of that go and you keep focused on what it is you want. And so I just want to encourage everybody, to do that for themselves. And I just did 2 videos I did a Facebook Live, 2 Facebook Lives on just that, how to master the creation of new realities. And I lay out 5 steps. And then I did a part 2 to that, which was as you're creating these new realities, how to bring in the highest aligned realities, because that's what it is we want, the highest aligned. And so if you're in that place too on your journey and you're looking for extra support there or guidance or whatever, you might find these 2 videos to support you. And you can actually find them either on my Facebook page. Actually, I'm going to be uploading them to YouTube in the next couple of days too. So just keep a lookout for that if that's something that could assist you on your path too. Marc, are you back? Are you all hooked up and okay?
Yep, I'm all hooked up and just listening in, and like you're saying, life's an adventure. I always like to say life's an adventure, not an inclusive retreat. And in order to bring things
Yeah.
into your reality, you got to do what you're saying. You got to visualize it, manifest it. I always say believe it, see it, achieve it. But you got to take action too to make that come into your reality. And if it sits in your mind, it's just a daydream. What are you doing to bring it out into your reality, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You got to take action. You got to, even if it's like little steps at a time, you got to do something, and then you got to, hold that focus among other things. But yeah, those are all really key parts to really creating the life that you want to experience for you. So anyways, and here's another thing. I'm going to share another thing too, because I found that this was, a limited belief on my end before until until it was brought to my attention. Hey, by my own guidance, hey, wait a second, you're not looking at this the right way, which is oftentimes what happens. I used to feel like there were all kinds of limitations, to what it is I had to work with. Limited time, limited this, limited that. And it's like, sometimes you may not have as much time as you would like, or whatever it may be that you're seeing as a limit, but you got to work with what it is you have. Don't work with what it is you have, and don't let that be a limitation. It's just you work within, what it is you have, and then as you continue to move forward, what it is you have is going to shift and expand and evolve too. So that was one thing that I learned, and I guess the reason why I'm focused on the creation of new realities and staying focused and all of that in this conversation is because that's actually what's leading me into, new projects and stuff, as I'm no longer going to be on Inspired Living. So that's, I think, what's inspiring this focus of conversation for me right now. anyways.
Well, you get more time back, right? You're gonna get more time, which I always say our greatest commodity in life is the time and what you do with that time. And for those of you that are listening, it takes a lot of time, energy, and work to put together Inspired Living Radio each and every Wisdom Wednesday, whether it's the content, arranging the interviews, getting the guests on the show, promoting out through the social media accounts. It's a lot of time. That's time now that you can focus and put your energy and love and passion into the things that you want to do in 2020, which, in 2020, it's the year of the 4. And in numerology, that's all about the dedicated worker, focusing on what you want and really, going after, when you were talking, Kim, it was the quote from Henry Ford popped into my mind, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And it's all about what you want to do, right?
Oh, gosh. You know what, Marc? I love it. And it reminds me of a quote that somebody else said, too, recently that just hits home. Is like, the universe is always going to prove you're right. So, so just along the lines of what Marc said, too. And, yeah, the universe is always going to prove you're right. So remember that. That's kind of a powerful thing, right? What we both just said is the same thing in different ways.
In different ways, yeah.
It holds a lot of truth, and I just feel like that's what this whole journey is about. This journey of self-discovery is like, well, what do you believe? What are your beliefs? And you can use your beliefs to really support you. And those that aren't supporting you in the part of creation, then don't believe them anymore, because we have that. Go. Yeah, we have that choice too, because we're always going to see these, programs within us come up. But it's like, what do we choose to do with them when they do come up? And do we hold the awareness that that's what it is? This whole process, takes a lot of awareness in the beginning, until it becomes kind of a natural way of being. But and I talked about this on one of my videos too recently, I've got these things that I'm wanting to create, and from time to time, one of those old beliefs will come up and say, what are you why are you doing that? Nobody's going to listen to what you have to say. Or,
right.
Are you kidding me? You want to do all these things at once? Like, you're not going to be able to do that. And then you go, wait a second. Yeah, no, I see you, and I don't believe you anymore. So you just go ahead and dissolve into nothingness, back into the light again.
Exactly. It's that inner voice of self-sabotage, right? And I always wonder, where the heck does this other voice that we listen to all the time come from? Like, where does it really truly stem from, that inner voice?
It's like it's like our computer operating system within us, like what we were pre-programmed with on some level, and then what it is we decided to believe along the way too, through our conditioning and things like that.
Yeah.
But none of it holds truth, none of it is true unless you think it is, right?
Exactly.
So, and we're always going to be tested with that. Like, when some of those beliefs came up over the last few weeks, it was like, well, in the beginning, at first, when it first came up, I was believing it, and I talked about this on my video too. I was sitting there sulking, by myself, not believing it. And now we can laugh about it. You see, that's the way this stuff always is. You look back and you're like, oh my gosh, that was just nonsense and just not even true. So anyways. But I guess as we're talking about this, Mark, I would love to share with the community, kind of what some of the projects are that I'm going to be working on, and what's like inspiring me, and how you can connect with me, and kind of how my work's evolving and stuff too. And it's not just about me and my work. It's about how I'm going to be, working with humanity too. Like kind of what I want to be putting out to humanity in the best way that I can assist, So anyways, the one thing I really enjoy doing, I have to say, Mark, and you've just been I tell you what, Mark, you've been consistent and focused. There you go. Because on Mondays, you're doing your Metaphysical Mocha Mondays, and you've just stuck with it. For me, with some of the things happening in my life previously, and I wasn't able to do it every Fridays, and I still may not be able to do it every Fridays, but I'm really committed to the Aloha Freedom Fridays because I find that brings me joy. When people start coming on and, we're interacting and I'm doing the readings, I really, really enjoy that. I really like getting to know who everybody is, like what's going on with them, how our community can support each other through that process, and that perhaps every Friday is a place that people like to come to kind of unwind from the week and to share what's going on, to inspire others and to support each other, just as, you do with your Metaphysical Mocha Mondays. And so I will continue to do that. I was saving I used to do like a topic for Aloha Freedom Fridays and then get into readings, and I'm finding that, I might save the topics for my YouTube videos and just spend that time Fridays. Yeah, spend that time on Fridays just communing with everybody and interacting. Because, like, for me, I notice when I'm talking about the topics, like, I'm focused on what's going on with the topics, but then there's this whole community there that's present, and it's like, I want to interact with you. So, anyways, so connect with me on Facebook, my Kimberly Thalken Love First Facebook page, business, quote unquote, business Facebook page. And that's where I'll be doing, my live events on Fridays. And then, I also, I really want to get, messages out there, things that I've learned during the week or learned from, client sessions. Cause, I have to say, every day is like being in a classroom for me. It is. I'm learning all kinds of things every day, and I love to be able to share that with whomever is, can be inspired, or whoever it is I can assist. So I'm going to be spending more time making, creating content on YouTube to share these messages with the energy behind it that will support other people where they need it. So you can also connect with me on YouTube. under Kimberly Thalken. Now, one other thing, too, is that I'm going to be and Mark, thank you for being so patient here as I just go through my little announcements.
Oh, no, that's what this show is for, the farewell show for Kim.
I know. So that's kind of where my focus is going to be and where I'd love to continue to commune with everybody. But I've also have a meetup group here now in LA, and you can find that under Love First or Kim Thalken. And in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be doing a free online webinar where we're going to be, the topic is going to be the higher self, and we will do some hypnosis on this webinar that'll connect you to your higher self so that you can start building that relationship with you, a deeper relationship with you. Sorry, the gardeners are here today, so sorry if you hear some noise in the background. But if you sign up for my newsletter, which is on my website, lovefirst.info, you'll be updated with some of these things too. So I don't have an exact date yet. It will probably be in the next 2 to 3 weeks on a weekend, a Saturday or a Sunday. I will actually finalize the date tomorrow. So I will finalize that date tomorrow, but I'll be doing that on the webinar, and then I'll also be doing some readings too. So anybody who's in attendance, you can ask questions, and I will be doing readings as well, whether it's around spiritual development or, just what's going on with your life, guidance, and that way I'll be doing that on this webinar as well. But the higher self and your soul is like a key thing for me in my own work. And so that's really what I find I'm passionate about or inspired to do, is to connect other people to themselves on a deeper level. And then when you do that, it's like everything really starts to shift and change. So we'll be doing that. But, here we go. This is our final break. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Our final break. Yes, there we go.
The cutting edge of conscious radio. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Have you wondered how to change your love paradigm? The secret key is finding a love partnership, not just a regular connection. How do you find these? Through conscious relationships. Ascending Hearts Dating is a dating site for people like you that believes in second chances and a different type of spiritual connection. Try Ascending Hearts for free at ascendinghearts.com and change your love paradigm. Ascending Hearts, the premier dating community for the spiritually awake.
One planet, 7.3 billion people, only one you. Life offers us many opportunities and learning experiences. Are you ready to explore and discover this beautiful planet, the life and energy all around us, the spiritual world, and what is unseen, along with your own personal soul adventure? Marc Lainhart, the intuitive prospector, is the spiritual connection you have been prospecting for. Internationally known as a tested and professional clairvoyant medium and spiritual advisor, Marc's work as a metaphysical teacher, medical instructor, radio show host, inspirational writer, and hiking guide are here to help you on a journey of self-discovery, healing, inspiration, education, and a whole lot of spiritual awesomeness. Dare to dream. Dare to explore. Dare to live. For more information on Marc's spiritual practice in Seattle, Washington, please visit marclainhart.com or internet search The Intuitive Prospector.
My name is Victor Furman. Some call me The Voice. I've always been fascinated with human nature, spirituality, science, and the crossroads at which they meet. Join me Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio, and we'll explore these topics and so much more on Destination Unlimited.
opiates has taken everything and everyone I've ever loved away from me. Everything. I blew my ankle out and I got prescribed pain pills by my doctor. If making my detox public is going to help somebody, I'm all for it. I just wish I would have had a warning.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth. A message from Truth, the Ad Council, and ONDCP.
And welcome back to Inspired Living with Marc and Kim. We are so excited to be here today with you. This is our last show together, as I will be leaving the show, but Marc will be here with you twice a month, right, Marc? So
that's right, twice a month.
Yeah. So just before we went to break, I just kind of wrap up what I was saying there, just different ways that you can stay connected to me and some of the things that I'm going to be doing on my end to continue inspiring to the best, the best way that I can, and supporting and assisting those out there that could use it. And as I was saying, I will be doing a live webinar, a 2-hour free online webinar to connect to the higher self. And so, once you do that, as I was saying before, your life begins to really shift and change. So I'd love to support you in that process. But if there are challenges that you're going through, you really want to do some deep inner work around elevating consciousness and your life experiences, where real transformation begins to unfold, give me a call, share with me what's going on, and let's see what we can do together to help create shifts where shifts are needed, and to bring in greater joy. And, of course, you can always do that through my website, which is lovefirst.info. So I think those are my little announcements there, and kind of what I'm working on. Oh, so on my YouTube video, I've got a video that's on how to raise your vibration, and then 2 videos on how to master the creation of new realities. So there you go. That's what I'm going to be over here doing in Encino, my office in Encino. If you're in LA, you want to stop by, say hello, have a session. I'd love to do some work with you, or we can do it by phone, by Skype. Any one of those things are equally as powerful. Marc?
Kim, you're going to be sharing those still on the Inspired Living Radio page. We are going to keep the Inspired Living Radio page up and running, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So Kim can share her Aloha Freedom Fridays there, and her YouTube videos and everything that she's going to be working on moving forward as we move into 2020. And like Kim said, I will be coming back in November, starting next month, but it's going to be pretty much on a part-time basis, because it's allowing me some time as well to work on some other things, some big events that I'm bringing as a course organizer to Seattle, bringing some tutors from the Arthur Findlay College here to Seattle for the first time. Both of them have never been here. I'm teaching a 4-day workshop, so I'm looking forward to that. And that takes a lot of time to coordinate and market all that. And that's going to be happening in February, in April, and also September, bringing one of Norway's favorite inspirational mediums here to Seattle. So I'm going to be doing a lot more course organizing. I still will be doing Inspired Living Radio just on a twice a month, first and third weekend of the month, starting next month. And it'll be still fun, inspirational shows, occasional guests, teaching opportunities. So I hope that you'll stick around with us. And like I said, you can catch all of our past 179 episodes, podcasts of Inspired Living Radio through the OMTimes Radio archives, OMTimes Radio Media, iTunes, SoundCloud, Podbean, YouTube. They're all going to be available there, and I know that Kim will share her favorite episodes on lovefirst.info. I have my favorites at marclainhart.com. And you're right, though, Kim. It's, when I started Metaphysical Mocha Mondays 2 seasons ago now, it only had a few people that were interacting with me. And now every Monday morning I look forward to getting up, joining through Facebook Live and my YouTube channel and connecting with people all around the planet. People really look forward to the Monday Mocha inspiration, the community, conscious conversations, a spiritual community where you can really inspire and just help people and, get into the Healing Cafe. And it's been a lot of fun. It's been a very transformative and Yeah, I'm very grateful as well. I know you started out with gratitude at the beginning of the show, and I'm very grateful and much gratitude for you and what you have brought to the show, your energy, your passion, your love, your knowledge, your wisdom, and going to be sorry to see it go, but I know that this is not the end of the journey. This is just the beginning, and it's something that's new, right? It's something that has morphed into, that this new butterfly, if you will. And I look forward to seeing what you're going to bring out into the world.
Yo, it's not going to be the last, Mark. Don't you even think about that, because I know where to find you. I'll come find you. No, yeah, it's just it's just some shifts, and you might see me in the front seat at one of your workshops, Mark. I know I've seen some of those mediumship ones you've got coming up.
Yeah.
With some of the tutors. That's so exciting.
Yeah, and I'll probably be bringing them on to do a podcast with me of Inspired Living Radio while they're here in town. I'm going to be sponsoring them, and it's just, it's an honor and a privilege to be able to work with such caliber of people that teach at a college in England, someplace I've been going for almost 7 years now, learning mediumship, spiritualism, psychic sciences, healing, all of that. And so it's just interesting to see it all come into fruition, to come into reality. But again, like we've been saying, we visualize it, we see it, we manifest it, but then what kind of actions and time are we doing to bring that into our reality and to make that, happen, if you will?
Mm-hmm. Yep, isn't that the truth? Yeah.
So what I wanted to do real quick, just talk about some life lessons for the number 8, since this is our last episode together, which breaks down, it's 179 episodes. It breaks down into the number 8 and some of the life lessons, and just kind of reflect on what you think as far as, since it's an 8 energy, the 8 energy is all about finding balance within the material and spiritual world. And, in the 4 years of doing Inspired Living Radio, you went bi-coastal at one point. You went to Virginia. Now you're back in California, back in Encino, California there. So that balance of, the material and the spiritual world, learning to reclaim your personal power is a part of the 8 energy, to regain, temper, your power with respect, and to lead alongside others is a big part of the 8 energy. To become aware of that higher purpose is a part of the 8 energy, and to live with honesty, integrity, and also adopt an attitude of abundance. These are all life lessons connected to the power of 8 and the infinity number. And I think they're major life lessons, because over the last 4 years, I've learned all these lessons as far as going through all of the different shows and interviews that we've done, and even just in my own spiritual journey, how I've transformed and ascended, if you will, and gone through the alchemy process from, the mindset, the body, the psychology of it. And it's been quite a fascinating adventure, and I'm looking forward now to what 2020 is going to open up and offer us. And, for our listeners out there, don't let fear drive you. I always find that fear is is the cause of every problem that we do. Fear for me is false evidence appearing real. And when we started the show, we weren't sure. We didn't know how long it was going to go. We didn't really have a time frame for it. But 4 seasons is actually a pretty good run in my book. Almost 5 seasons now, because we've been doing this before Inspired Living Radio. But go out and seize the day. Carpe diem. Don't have fear in your journey. If you're thinking about doing something, go out and do a radio show together and learn, together, and transform together and ascend together, just like Kim and I have done the last 4+ seasons of Inspired Living Radio. And don't worry about failure. Failure is just first attempt in learning. Fail often, fail big. So when you put failure and fear behind you, boy, the world is your oyster, as they like to say it. It's a true soul adventure. And that's what this has been for me, Kim, a true soul adventure.
Oh, it absolutely has, Mark. And so to that point, I want to say that, you and I we met, and then we came back to Seattle and California, and we had no idea we were going to be doing a radio show together. And then our colleagues, our colleagues called us from the event that we were just at and asked if we wanted to join them, who is, as Mark said, Diana Blagden, who's no longer with us, and also Raj, the Mystic Cowgirl out in Arizona. And, when you kind of have a desire or an interest, or you're being led down a path a certain way, you will have, the support around you. You'll have people come into your life that will open up doors of opportunities, make suggestions that you never thought of, like doing a radio show, and here we are years later, so just a lot of gratitude to Raj and to Diana for opening up a whole new window of opportunity for you, Mark, for me, and led us down a path of kind of what I needed. Yeah, 5 years later, what I needed at that point, because I was still really, kind of new in doing this work full time. And so I wasn't even really sure what my work was going to look like. I was still trying to build confidence in myself. That's a big thing too. When we start new things, building confidence. And the show helped me to do that, to believe in myself more, to feel confidence in ways that, I didn't, that was very supportive, I should say. And so it's just, beautiful experience. So when you're open, you'll be led down a path that's right for you, and take the opportunities that come, because they're there for a reason. I mean, we always have a choice, but if an opportunity comes up, take it, experience it, go for it, see what it's like. And you might be really pleasantly surprised at, how much more confident it is you are than you thought you were. Or, you're going to learn things about yourself that's just going to be amazing. That's going to be building blocks for those next steps. And so that's what I want to say. Yeah, that's what I want to say.
Confidence and trust. Yeah. I'm right there. Right. I never envisioned doing a radio show ever in my path. I never thought that I would even be on the airways. I never thought that would morph into then doing a live video show every Monday morning for Metaphysical Mocha Mondays in the Healing Cafe. Didn't think that, it just shows you that what you think your future is going to be doesn't always roll out, or, ends up being what you thought it was going to be. Because those are two big things that I never saw in my spiritual pathway. But, the opportunity arrived. It came into our reality. And I always say, reach out eagerly and without fear, and do it with a newer, deeper experience, or what I like to call soul adventures, and learn from those soul adventures, because you're going to just see that you're so much more than what you perceive to be, especially when you have a spiritual awakening, especially when you go deeper down that rabbit hole, like in Alice in Wonderland, and, how far down the rabbit hole do you want to go? Well, it depends on, what you want to do with it and where you want to go with it. And it's been, the evolution and transformation and growth of doing radio and podcasts and shows. And it's been an honor working with you the last 5+ years. And I know that this is not the end. This is just the beginning. And I had planned, just for the sake of time, I had planned a little special something for you. I'm going to try to do this my best in Hawaiian, if I can.
Oh, my gosh, Mark.
See if I can do this without tears. So you'll have to correct me if I'm getting it wrong, but I know that you're Hawaiian. And so I wanted to honor you and give you something that's special in the Hawaiian language. And it says, Aloha wa ihana pumi o a aloha wa e owa, which translates to, I have loved working with you, and I love you, Kim.
Oh, my gosh, Mark. Now you see, you're going to make me cry. Oh, my gosh, Mark, that was so beautiful. Thank you so much. And I'm going to say to you, ke kuapu ahuiho kako. And that means, now you're going to make me cry. That means, may God be with you until we meet again.
Oh, I love that. And I just want to say, may your feet take you where your heart wants to go. And that's, it's been an honor and privilege working with you the last 4+ seasons of Inspired Living Radio, and even all the way back to the Hour to Empower. And I can't wait to see where both of us go moving forward in 2020. And there's a famous quote that's from a movie that you may know well. I know our listeners know it's from Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. And it says, and now, Harry, let us step into the night and pursue that flighty temptress adventure. And so I would just replace it with, and now, Kim, let us step out into the night and pursue that flighty temptress of adventure. And that's what life is all about. So.
Oh, Marc, thank you so much. I was so honored to work with you and just to share this time with you every week, for the last few years. I mean, it's just been a complete blessing. It just the experiences and all that we learned together and just apart on our own too, and just all of that. And so I really just I want to say how much gratitude I have for you too, Marc. All the beautiful work you're doing out there, and that I know you're just going to rock and roll, Marc. I know you are.
And I know you are too. I do believe it's just time for another adventure, just in a new way, a new format, and together we'll go out into the world and we'll carpe diem and keep inspiring. And you are, Kim, the inspired and the inspiration, and it's been an honor and pleasure working with you all here on Inspired Living Radio.
Thank you, Marc, and and to just all those inspired listeners, keep on inspiring and being inspired. Follow your passions, and you know me, always come from a place of love.
Always come from a place of love. Until our next soul adventure together, everyone, be kind, be caring, be compassionate, and we'll see you next Wisdom Wednesday for more Inspired Living Radio with your host, Marc Lainhart. Have a great day, everybody. Love you, Kim. Namaste.